Hello everyone, my name is Jesus Rivera and today we are going to be reviewing the Viltrox EF-EFM lens mount adapter and speed booster on the Canon M50. Before we begin, I want to apologize for not uploading as many videos as I should be uploading, but the reason is I have been busy with a lot of work, plus I have 3 kids, especially a toddler that takes a lot of my time. But I promise that I'm going to keep working on uploading more videos. Now, I want to thank all of you who have subscribed to this channel, and if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment at the bottom, and I will get back at you. This is the Canon M50. It is a mirrorless camera with an APS-C sensor that is a great camera, one of the favorites in the vlogging world. A lot of YouTubers prefer this camera because it's an excellent camera for vlogging. It has this amazing flip out screen. It's also very compact, very lightweight, and it's very fun to use. So for vlogging, it's excellent, but also it is great for traveling and for pictures. So this is a great camera to have. Now, this camera has the M lens mount, which is a mount for mirrorless camera for Canon, which it doesn't have a lot of lenses. So what Canon did was that Canon made this EF and EFS to EFM mount lens adapter. And the way this works is that you put this lens adapter on this camera, and there it is. Now you can use any EF or EFS lenses on this camera. For example, this 50 nifty. It is an EF mount lens, and it's one of the favorite because it's very compact, it's very cheap. It has a 1.8 aperture and 50 millimeters. It's a great focal length. Now, when you adapt this lens on this camera, you're gonna see that it works perfectly now on the Canon M50. Without this adapter, this lens will not fit on this camera. Now, if I have this Canon-made adapter, why do I need this Viltrox adapter? Well, that's what we're gonna talk about today. When you use an APS-C camera, it has a crop factor because it is not a full frame sensor. Different companies have different crop factors on their cameras. And since we're using Canon, this M50, Canon has a 1.6 crop factor on this camera to this lens. So this 50 millimeter lens is gonna be an equivalent of 80 millimeters in a full frame body. So you will have to put your camera farther away to get all the view that you want. But that's when this speed booster comes in. So when I remove this, and I'm gonna show you, I'm removing the adapter. Now I'm gonna attach the speed booster. As you can see, the speed booster works. And now when I put this lens here and I adapt it, which you see works. Now what this speed booster does, it gives you a wider view. So and now that crop factor of 1.6 that turns this 50 millimeter to an 80 millimeter, now you have to add a 0.1 crop factor, which brings this 50 millimeter to a 56.8, really close to a full frame camera. Now, not only does this speed booster give you a wider depth of field that comes down to a 56.8 millimeter depth of field, it also increases an f-stop, Why? Because it has a glass inside of it that gives more light to the APS-C sensor. Therefore, that 1.8 f-stop becomes a 1.2 because it's gonna let more light into the sensor. One thing you might be asking, well, Jesus, what about the 4K footage on the Canon M50? I hear it sucks. Well, it is not a bad 4K, it's just that 1.6 crop factor turns to a 2.56 in 4K, which gives you a very tight view. And this 50mm turns to a focal length of 128mm. But when you adapt this Viltrox adapter and you put the crop factor 0.71, that 128mm turn to 90.88. Yes, you do lose the dual pixel autofocus, but you can use the peaking manual focus, which it has red dots around your subject, so you know when your subject is in focus and when it's not. So when you have both of these adapters, this lens becomes very, very versatile because it can turn from an 18mm to a 56.8mm just by changing the adapter. You don't have to buy a new lens. And when you use this adapter, the background becomes a little more blurry, so you have more bokeh, which is something we all love to have in our cameras. Does this Viltrox give you vignetting around the edges? I haven't had that experience so far, so I cannot speak upon that. And it's all about personal preferences. Now, at the moment of this recording, this Viltrox Speedbooster is selling for $156, whereas this Canon adapter is selling for $117, which I suggest you buy both, because then this 50mm, you can use it as an 80mm or a 56.8mm. Well, that was all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please leave your comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel so I can keep putting more contents like this. It will be till next time, so peace.